everyone. My name is Mama Bunny, and I'm so happy to see you here back at the burrow. And to all of our new friends, hello. It's so nice to meet you. How was your day? I hope it went well. And now that you're here, my day's gotten even better. Last time, I read the first two stories for Frog and Toad, and I promised I would read the last three next time. And well, next time is here. So tonight, I'm going to be reading three stories as a little treat. Doesn't that sound like fun? Oh, but we can't have a story unless we're all comfy cozy. So make sure you're wearing something comfy. And don't forget to bring your favorite stuffy. I think they're going to want to hear the story too, don't you? Well then, let's get started, shall we? Our first story is called Cookies. Toad baked some cookies.
"These cookies smell very good,"
said Toad. He ate one.
"and they taste even better,"
he said. Toad ran to Frog's house.
"Frog, Frog,"
cried Toad.
"taste these cookies that I've made."
Frog ate one of the cookies.
"These are the best cookies I've ever eaten,"
said Frog. Frog and Toad ate many cookies, one after another.
"You know, Toad,"
said Frog with his mouth full,
"I think we should stop eating. We will soon be sick." "You are right,"
said Toad.
"Let us eat one last cookie, and then we will stop."
Frog and Toad ate one last cookie. There were many cookies left in the bowl.
"Frog,"
said Toad.
"let us eat one very last cookie, and then we will stop."
Frog and Toad ate one very last cookie.
"We must stop eating,"
cried Toad as he ate another.
"Yes,"
said Frog, reaching for a cookie.
"we need willpower." "What is willpower?"
asked Toad.
"Willpower is trying hard not to do something that you really want to do,"
said Frog.
"You mean like trying not to eat all these cookies?"
asked Toad.
"Right,"
said Frog. Frog put the cookies in a box.
"There,"
he said.
"Now we will not eat any more cookies. But we can open the box,"
said Toad.
"That is true,"
said Frog. Frog tied some string around the box.
"There,"
he said.
"Now we will not eat any more cookies." "But we can cut the string and open the box,"
said Toad.
"That is true,"
said Frog. Frog got a ladder. He put the box up on a high shelf.
"There,"
said Frog.
"Now we will not eat any more cookies." "But we can climb the ladder and take the box down from the shelf and cut the string and open the box,"
said Toad.
"That is true,"
said Frog. Frog climbed the ladder and took the box down from the shelf. He cut the string and opened the box. Frog took the box outside. He shouted in a loud voice,
"Hey, birds! Here are cookies!"
Birds came from everywhere. They picked up all the cookies in their beaks and flew away.
No, we have no more cookies to eat,
said Toad sadly.
not even one.
Yes, said Frog,
But we have lots and lots of willpower. You may keep it all, Frog.
said Toad.
I'm going home now to bake a cake.
Oh, what a silly Toad he is. Cookies are nice, but remember, too many will give you a tummy ache. Our next story is called Dragons and Giants. Frog and Toad were reading a book together,
The people in this book are brave.
said Toad.
They fight dragons and giants, and they are never afraid. I wonder if we are brave,
said Frog. Frog and Toad looked into a mirror,
We look brave.
said Frog.
Yes, but are we?
Asked Toad. Frog and Toad went outside,
We can try to climb this mountain.
said Frog.
That should tell us if we are brave.
Frog went leaping over rocks, and Toad came puffing up behind him. They came to a dark cave. A big snake came out of the cave.
Hello, lunch,
Said the snake when he saw Frog and Toad. He opened his wide mouth. Frog and Toad jumped away. Toad was shaking.
I am not afraid.
He cried. They climbed higher, and they heard a loud noise. Many large stones were rolling down the mountain.
It's an avalanche,
Cried Toad. Frog and Toad jumped away. Frog was trembling.
I am not afraid.
He shouted. They came to the top of the mountain. The shadow of a hawk fell over them. Frog and Toad jumped under a rock. The hawk flew away.
We are not afraid,
Screamed Frog and Toad at the same time. Then they ran down the mountain very fast. They ran past the place where they saw the avalanche. They ran past the place where they saw the snake. They ran all the way to Toad's house.
Frog. I'm glad to have a brave friend like you,
Said Toad. He jumped into the bed and pulled the covers over his head.
and I am happy to know a brave person like you, Toad.
Said Frog. He jumped into the closet and shut the door. Toad stayed in the bed and Frog stayed in the closet. They stayed there for a long time, just feeling very brave together. Oh, it sounds like they were very brave. Oh, and I'm sure you were very brave as well. Our last story is called The Dream. Toad was asleep, and he was having a dream. He was on a stage, and he was wearing a costume. Toad looked out into the dark. Frog was sitting in the theater. A strange voice from far away said,
Presenting the greatest Toad in all the world.
Toad took a deep bow. Frog looked smaller as he shouted,
Hooray for Toad! Toad will now play the piano very well,
said the strange voice. Toad played the piano, and he did not miss a note.
Frog,
Cried Toad.
can you play the piano like this?
No, said Frog. It seemed to Toad that Frog looked even smaller.
Toad will now walk on a high wire, and he will not fall down,
said the voice. Toad walked on the high wire.
Frog,
cried Toad.
can you do tricks like this?
No, peeped Frog, who looked very, very small.
Toad will now dance, and he will be wonderful,
said the voice.
Frog, can you be as wonderful as this?
said Toad, as he danced all over the stage. There was no answer. Toad looked out into the theater. Frog was so small that he could not be seen or heard.
Frog,
said Toad.
where are you?
There was still no answer.
Frog, what have I done?
cried Toad. Then the voice said,
The greatest Toad will now.
Shut up, screamed Toad.
Frog, Frog, where have you gone?
Toad was spinning in the dark.
Come back, Frog,
he shouted.
I'll be lonely. I am right here,
said Frog. Frog was standing near Toad's bed.
Wake up, Toad,
he said.
Frog, is that really you?
said Toad.
Of course it is me,
said Frog.
And you are your own rat size?
asked Toad.
Yes, I think so,
said Frog. Toad looked at the sunshine coming through the window.
Frog,
he said,
I'm so glad that you came over. I always do,
said Frog. And then Frog and Toad ate a big breakfast. And after that, they spent a fine, long day together. The end. Well then, little ones, I promised 3 stories, and that's just what I did. So now, it's time that we go to sleep. But don't worry, I'll have another great book ready for us for next time. How does that sound? Well then, get all snuggled up underneath your blanket. Hold your favorite stuffy tight, 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 so they know they are loved. Oh, and dream some wonderful dreams. And while you're having some wonderful dreams, I'll get us a story ready for next time. And no matter what, always remember, Mama Bunny loves you very, very much. Good night.